way back here. I need to find a way to save it easier.
Just send it to you over and over again. Or just put it on your favorites, on your downloader, and put on your favorites in your pictures.
Yeah, I should do that.
You know how it is?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to work a phone?
Yep. Well, depends. All right, we ready?
Here comes. Music ready. And... Welcome to episode number
5.
Cinco. My name is Carlos Uringer.
And I'm Allison Parler.
And today we're going to talk about the world.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to be traveling around the world. Actually, you know what? Let's start with a question. What would be like your top 3 places that you've ever been? Actually, hold on a second. Before you answer that, let me ask you, can you name like the top 3 places you've ever been? And then the top 3 places that you've never been, but you kind of have it on a bucket list.
Well, I'm not very traveled like you are. Carlos has been to just about every country, I swear.
Nah, not every country.
But so I don't have a whole lot of top 3s.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to go to the same place all the time when we travel.
Where is it?
We normally go to the beach. I like warm weather.
Okay.
So, or Disney World because the kids were little. But now that they're getting older and easier to travel with, I've got a couple places on my list that include children and don't include children.
All right, let's go. Tell me.
So my kid trip that I would like to take with the children is I would love to go to beaches, Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos as an island of the Caribbean.
Have you ever been?
No, and it will be on my bucket list, but probably around number 5 or number 6, just because I don't think there is much to do other than just the beach.
That's what I want to do. Just sit on the beach, look at the white sands, crystal blue water, have some drinks.
Good.
So I've heard it's a beautiful island. So that's one place I'd love to go with the children, for sure.
Yeah, the pictures are definitely amazing of it. Okay, so you have Turks and Caicos. Where are the other 2?
So I want to go to Italy.
Nice.
I love Italian wines and would love to be able to go to some of the vineyards there, really explore, enjoy the food, the culture. Be amazing.
I was in Italy last year.
Yeah, you suck. But here's the thing. So when you travel, do you have people that are from the country that go around with you? Like, I am so very American. I am going to stick out like a sore thumb. And it makes me nervous just to go different places that I don't know anything about. Much less I'm not able to communicate either. Well,
first of all, you know, you got it wrong. Like when you say I'm so American, that's not true, because if anything, Americans have been known to travel all over the world, you know.
Okay.
Actually, every country that I visit, there is a ton of Americans there. So Americans travel by nature, right? Second, one of the things I think that the situation of the country of Venezuela has brought up is that a lot of my friends are moving out of the country, and they're now spread all over the world. For example, last year I was in Italy because my cousin was getting married there.
Okay.
He wouldn't be getting married in Italy if it wasn't for him living in Holland, in near Amsterdam. And he wouldn't be living in Amsterdam if the situation in the country wasn't that bad.
Right.
You know. I also traveled. I also was able to visit Spain because one of my best friends is living in Barcelona.
That's
so,
cool. But you're still going to see people who know something about the area.
Well, you can say now that there is Venezuelans everywhere in the world. We have emigrated. We used to be a country of immigrants. A lot of people will move into Venezuela. We had a huge community of people from Spain, huge community of people from Italy that they left their countries because of the war, and they populated Venezuela. Now the tables have turned because of the socialism going on in Venezuela.
Right.
A lot of people has left the country, and they just don't come to the United States. I got friends in Chile, I got friends in Argentina. I was last year in Argentina on a wedding from a friend.
Of course you are.
From a friend that they live in Mexico. Well, she lives in Mexico and she married an Argentinian guy. And then they have this wedding in Argentina and kind of invited me. And I say, why not? You know, so I went there and it was awesome. They actually got married north of Patagonia, which is all the way in the south of South America. It took me like 20 hours just to get there.
Oh my. I hope it was worth it.
It was, yes, it was. Because you know what? That's another thing. If you have an opportunity to go to a place that you've never been, I want to take it. Because you never know when is that opportunity going to come up again.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think I hate that I'm not as traveled as I would like to be. Because
never
I think
too late to start.
It's not. And I'm only 40-ish.
Mm-hmm. So you still have another 40 years to travel around the world.
But I think it makes you a better person when you've been exposed to different cultures, different ways of life. And I think it also helps us with real estate to be able to understand and deal with people from just different areas.
It does give you a different perspective of when you live in here. You appreciate, I think that you get to appreciate how easy, yes, I think that's the word, how easy it is to live in the United States. And you get on the day to day, and I know that a lot of people are struggling right now, you know, with the economy and the politics and everything. But at the end of the day, we live in a country that has a ton of opportunities.
Yes.
It has a ton of opportunities for everybody, you know. And with the right mindset, with the right dedication, with a little bit of luck, we're not gonna deny it. You can actually achieve your goals. You know, it's just a matter of realizing how blessed we are to live in this country, because we really are. There is a lot of poverty out of there. There's a lot of countries where, you know, I was talking. I was in a lunch meeting today with a couple of friends, and I was telling them, you know, we don't really get to step back and realize how blessed we are to have what we have, and it's not just the physical things. It's not just financial things or whatever. You know, it's just to live here, just to be able to be on a free country, just to be able to raise our kids in such a great school system, to live in this place, which is, I think, is amazing to live. Even though, you know, yes, there are other places that are pretty beautiful and very, very pretty. I think that this is one of the best places. I wouldn't raise my kid in a different place.
Absolutely, I agree.
So, bucket list. So you have two, right?
So
Turks and Caicos. You have Italy.
Yes.
And
France.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. So I've always wanted to go to France because I had a hairdresser years ago.
Dave, are you listening, Dave?
Yeah. Anniversary trip. Had a hairdresser years ago from France.
Okay.
So I went to her for like 7 years. And every time we would go, we would talk about the country, the culture, the food. And I was just amazed, this sounds crazy, how they could eat bread and pasta all the time and stay so thin. But she said it was because they're not like us. They don't drive everywhere. They walk, they bike. So much is surrounded by their small communities. So when I say France, I'm not talking about just, you know, Paris, the hype of that. I would love to actually see the countrysides.
The countryside, yeah. I know Paris.
Of course you do. I heard Paris was really dirty.
I don't remember it being there. Actually, I went there, I want to say 98. It was 1998. So it was quite a bit. 17, 18 years old, something. Yeah, 18 years old. Probably around that time. I had a girlfriend, and
she lived in Paris.
She moved out of La Guaira to Paris with her family, and dude, we kept in touch. This is a cool story because back then there was no internet, there was no emails.
Yeah.
So the only way to keep in touch was by writing letters, and I would fax them. So every morning
you would fax them, not snail mail.
No, I would write a letter to her. Her name was Charlotte, and I will give that letter to my dad so he can take it to his office, because we didn't have a fax in our house, but he had a fax in his office, so he will fax that letter to France, and then she will fax a letter the next day with a response and her old stories. We did, I had, I want to say like probably 50, 40 of those letters once a week. And of course, to me, it was cool, you know, but turns out I learned later that everybody in their office read the letters.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if your dad's faxing these, I hope they're PG, because
well, of course,
he's reading all of it for sure. There's no way he's not.
But you had all the people in their office reading a real-time love novel, because she was probably one of my very first loves, you know, and her mom was so cool, and they invited me to go to Paris and spend there a couple weeks with her, and she will take me to her mom. We actually, I stayed there. I mean, imagine, you know, like the open-mindedness, you know, bring the boyfriend from Venezuela and stay here in our house and teach him all the culture. That's why I don't remember it was dirty. To me, everything was like beautiful. You
were in love.
I was.
So where do you have, what places on your bucket list?
Well, I want to say that, yes, I have traveled quite a bit around the world. So I've crossed a lot of my bucket list. Just last year, I was able to go to Qatar. I was able to go to India. Those very, very opposite places, and I can just talk about it nonstop, you know, for the next 30 minutes. So it'll be 30 minutes of just me talking about traveling. I'm not going to do that to you.
Okay, thank you.
Or to anybody, because might be a little bit boring. But I want to say that first on my bucket list will be also the beach. Mm-hmm. I like the beach, and I like what I've seen in Fiji Islands.
Fiji.
Yes, I don't know why, but
do you want to surf there? What's the draw to Fiji?
Well, I don't know
if you surf there.
I don't know if at this point I'll be able to surf those big waves, but I would, you know, like I'm a little bit out of shape. I haven't surfed in 15 years. Well, I did surf in California 5 years ago. Well, it wasn't surf. I actually got thrown away by the waves. Yeah. Got tumbled, yeah. No, but it's just, I don't know. I guess that with the videos and the pictures that I've seen and people that have been there and the conversation that we had, you know, you have Fiji, Thailand, mm-hmm. you know, all that area over there, it intrigues me to go and visit. So that's definitely on my bucket list.
Okay.
Second on my bucket list is also the beach, you know, but they say, believe it or not, I want to go and see Havana, Cuba. Mm. Mm-hmm. Never been there.
Never been to Cuba.
Never been to Cuba. I had the opportunity and I didn't take it a while ago to go there, and I just couldn't back. I think I was working or something like that.
Got in the way.
Yeah, but I would love to go and see it. I would love to. There's a lot of history in that country, and there's a lot of rum and salsa and sugar and ocean, and you know, it's just one of those places that I would love to go one day. And the other one is also a beach, actually.
I think we have a theme here.
We have a theme here, right? And that will be Punta del Este in Uruguay.
Where's that?
That's in the coast of Uruguay. And I didn't have it that high on my bucket list until I went to Argentina.
Okay.
The culture in there is awesome. If anybody's been to Argentina, they know what I'm talking about. The food is amazing. You're going to love it. People eat up until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they start.
That's right up my alley. I'm telling you, what I do revolves around food.
Well,
so. If they don't have good food, I can't go.
Oh, they have amazing food. They have amazing steaks, meat. It's awesome. Yeah. And the people are so friendly too. And at least when I was around with, had a friend over there that I visited to, another Venezuelan. But yeah, Punta del Este is actually a place where people from Argentina, people from Uruguay go on vacation. And everybody recommended that to me. I mean, there's so many places, Alison, to your bucket list. You know what else also on the bucket list that I wasn't in my? That also the bucket list is just
changing.
Correct.
or growing?
Japan.
Japan.
Yes.
So that's why we're talking about different places today, because we had an opportunity to speak with a ReMax agent from Japan that Carlos met at the ReMax convention, and it was really neat talking with her.
Yeah, and it all started. We were coming out of the concert. It was the last day in Las Vegas, and I was with my brother, and they were just hanging out in there, and we started to talk, and she mentioned that she's from ReMax Japan, and I didn't know that we had an office in Japan. So at that point, I was like, wait a second, ReMax has an office in Japan? You know, the white, red, and blue in Japan? Like, I don't see how many people. And I started to ask questions, and then I just thought it might be interesting to bring her over to the podcast so we can actually talk about the market. Actually, we have a pre-recorded interview.
Yes, we do.
She's not here with us, so we're going to play it for you.
At the end of this.
No, right now.
Right now?
Yeah,
all right,
let's play it right now.
Do it.
You want to play it right now?
Yep.
All right, here goes. And Ayako Fukushima, that's the right way to pronounce it?
Yes, that's right.
How are you? Welcome to our show. And I met Ayako in Las Vegas last week. I was intrigued. She's a ReMax agent in Japan, and I was intrigued about how ReMax works in there and you know how the market over there. But first, I would like you to tell us a little bit about you. You know, how do you end up being a real estate agent in Japan?
Okay, hi. So thank you for having me today. And my name is Ayako, and I'm from Japan. And yes, I'm a ReMax real estate agent in Japan. And you know, because I was born and raised in Japan, and I got married. So it was 15 years ago. I got married and then came to America. Then my ex-husband from Colorado Springs, so that's why I came to Colorado. And then I had 3 kids there. And then, you know, I was always, you know, I was the house mom for that whole time. But I was seeing that, you know, ReMax sign in front of the houses everywhere. So for me, it's like really familiar to, you know, see the ReMax sign. So, you know, I was always curious about the real estate and here. And that's because, you know, there's so many model homes and we can visit there, then open housing. Then I love to go in there and see the, you know, layouts and the designs. And I love to do that. So I was always curious about the real estate as well. But unfortunately, 3 years ago, I got divorced. So I had to go back to Japan. Then I had to get a job. Then I was searching what I can do. But, you know, I always, you know, curious about the real estate. So I think I want to be a real estate agent. So I was searching for the job. So there is a ReMax in Japan as well. And actually, I didn't know we have a ReMax in Japan too. So
where in Japan?
We're in Japan, Kanagawa. It's close to Tokyo.
Close to Tokyo?
Okay.
And how many agents are in ReMax Japan? Do you know?
In Japan now is over. We have 320.
Nice.
Agents. So and we have about 50 offices in Japan.
50 offices already. Oh, I would love to go and visit one day.
It's trying to grow now.
So how long have you been an agent?
3 years.
3 years? Tell me a little bit, do you have any questions right now? Tell me a little bit.
Well, I just found it interesting that you said you were a housewife but had interest in real estate and saw the ReMax brand everywhere, because in our last podcast, Carlos was just telling about how the founder of ReMax explained at R4 that how ReMax began was by putting out an ad trying to appeal to women to try and actually grow the brand with women. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. That's why I loved, ReMax is so much potential there, and so many women that, working, and it's awesome.
Ayako, one question. Are you familiar with how the contract works here in the United States, so you can make a comparison? Have you ever written a real estate contract here in the United States?
I do not think so.
So in Japan, do you think? I mean, what I want to ask is, how is the process over there?
Yeah.
Basically.
The process is it's similar, but we can do anything like a buyers and sellers. So we can do both. Just on me. But usually in here, it's like only one side. Only you're going to be the buyer's side or owner's side. But we can do both sides. Then that's happening often.
What's the average price for a house in the market, in your market in Japan?
My area, the average is like about 400,000 to 1 million.
Okay.
What's the size of the houses?
It's gonna be. It's a tiny. It's not like in the U.S. So the houses are really small. So average is like maybe like 1,000 square feet.
And are they more single family homes or okay?
Yes, family home.
So,
but
so a 1,000 square foot single family house in your town, in your city, will go for around $400,000 at the very basic level. Is that correct? And then after all upgrades and more upper class, I guess, neighborhoods, it will go up to $1 million.
We're seeing a lot of new construction here. Do you have that as well in Japan?
yes, we do. But we don't have that much land, so we have to, tear down, then we build again. So we have to find the land first.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How's it?
In the Tokyo area.
Go ahead. How's it? How's the loan process? How long does it take to the point where you put a house under contract and then you close? And how is the loan process? What's like the interest rate in there? What's like the minimum down payment? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So when you try to purchase the property, is until the closing, then it's gonna take about maybe a month, and then it depends which bank you're going to use. But our interest rate is 0.5 to 1.7. It depends.
1.7%?
0.5 to 1.7%. So it's pretty low. I know.
My buyers might all be moving to Japan once they hear that.
The long term is the maximum is like 35 years.
35 years. Okay.
But yes, that's the average, and that's what we can get maximum. And also the down payment is you don't have to put it down if you don't want to, but if you can, it's going to change the terms, and the monthly payment is going to be changed. But maybe the average is like 8 to 20% of the property price we're paying. That's the average, but you don't have to.
So in your opinion, it looks like it's easier to buy a house in Japan than it is to buy a house in the United States. Is that correct?
But you have to qualify for the loan, so they're going to check everything, how much you're making. So it depends on how much you're going to get the loan. Right. So yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's easier than getting a loan from America's bank, or I don't know, but
Now, do you have more cash buyers or buyers using financing?
Actually, now I'm having both, like the customer from the overseas and the local people as well. So the local people, about maybe 80%, they're going to use that loan, but the clients from the overseas, they're going to just pay the cash.
And are they mainly investors, or are they actually moving to your area?
Actually, the investors.
For rental properties, for being landlords, or?
Yes, they're just going to buy the property, and they want to operate for the Airbnb kind of places, something like that. So.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's awesome. Another question. In your office, in your ReMax office, how many agents do you have in there? And before I forget, and sorry to backtrack on the contract, do you actually also go to repair addendums and contingencies like little things like, for example, here it's common that they offer a refrigerator and the stove and washer and dryer. Do you see those things in there?
Yes. Yeah, we are definitely. We're going to, negotiate and offer the
Mm-hmm.
case of that or this, and if you don't want that, yes, we're going to do that also. And then now we have 6 agents in my office.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then we try to grow more. That's because we just opened, we have 2 offices, and then now one is in Kanagawa, which is close to Tokyo. Then we just opened another one down in Okinawa, which is the south of Japan, which is a small island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I moved there last year, and then opened another office. Then I'm the manager as well. I'm an agent, but I'm a manager as well. So try to increase our team there, and then now we have 6 agents there.
Okinawa, you cannot drive from Tokyo to Okinawa, right? You have to either fly or boat.
You can't. You have to fly.
You have to fly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I guess that that's pretty much all the questions that we have prepared. I would love to go and visit you and visit Japan one day.
You've been about everywhere, so.
But I have not been in Japan, and it's definitely on my bucket list.
You have to come.
Actually, let me ask you this question. If I were to go there and I will have a very limited time, let's say 5 days, right? What will be, and I know that is a difficult question because you probably have so many places to go and you really don't know what I mean to, but let's say that if somebody asks you and I say, well, you have to go to New York, California,
right,
Miami, and Chapin, South Carolina to go and know Lake Murray. But what would be like you can't miss in Japan?
Yeah, I want to say you should come visit Okinawa,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to say Kyoto.
Kyoto?
Yes.
Why?
Have you ever heard of that place?
No.
I have, yes. I actually, yes, I have heard about Kyoto. I've obviously never been there, but tell me why. Tell me why. Why do you like it so much?
Kyoto is personally, I love them. I love there. That's because they have our history there. So there's the temples and shrines that's still there. It's like a long time ago, like 1,000 more years ago. It's still there. And you can also feel the 4 seasons there. Anytime when you visit there, you'll see the beautiful view everywhere. Like when you visit there in the springs, and you can see the cherry blossoms everywhere. And then the summertime is that the green leaves are everywhere, and you can also there's all kinds of stuff that you can enjoy it. And also the food is amazing. If you like the Japanese food, I think you should go there.
Awesome.
Good
All right.
to know. Well, thank you.
Well, I know now.
We definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
Thank you.
That was cool.
That was cool. I enjoyed talking with her. And as much as I like learning about different places, traveling. 0.5% interest rate.
I know.
know.
On a loan.
I mean, if that were the case in Chapin, we couldn't keep people out of here.
And no money down.
None.
No
None
money
whatsoever.
down. I think I'm gonna put Japan on top of my bucket list now.
Sounds like a great place for an Airbnb.
Sounds like a great place to just, I mean, like 0 down and 0.5%. I mean, do you imagine if that happens here?
No. I mean, if it happens here, we have enough people wanting to move here as it is.
Well, again, this is one of the best places in the world. What's your favorite thing to do in Chapin? I talk about bucket list. Well, I don't think that you have a bucket list in Chapin. I think you've done it all.
Yeah, I have. My favorite thing about living here is the lake.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when we got ready to move back towards Columbia 10 years ago, I told my husband I have to be near water because clearly.
What are your favorite things to do on the lake?
Honestly, just relax. When I go out on the boat, on the water, it just, I'm telling you, my whole body just relaxes. Like I think I was a mermaid or something at some point. I don't know. But I love the water. In my younger days, I skied, I wakeboarded, I did all those things. But now I just like to ride around, listen to music, and enjoy the
So when you
peacefulness.
say relax, like you relax on the boat,
On
you
the boat.
relax on the water, you relax on the islands.
On the boat. I prefer
on the boat? Just
yeah.
like
Yeah, we'll just
like
anchor out
cruising.
somewhere.
Oh, anchoring.
Yeah,
Anchoring, just sitting there and doing
just
nothing.
sitting there
It's
and
like-
doing nothing. It's amazing. I don't get to do that. If I'm at home, something's got to be happening. I have to be productive. If I'm at work, I have to be productive. But for some
I need to
reason,
do something, Alison.
you get out there and it's just like you don't have a care in the world.
Yeah, I guess, and there's some days that it's just like beautiful, gorgeous out
It is.
there.
So what's your number one thing to do in Chapin?
What's my number thing to do in Chapin?
Yeah. What do you love to do the most? Or what do you think is the best thing about Chapin?
Well, I love the fact that I love to play baseball. I play in a softball league, and my son plays baseball, and the fields are great, and you know, baseball is probably number one of the activities. Obviously, number two is the lake. I enjoy to go to the lake. We usually actually go to an island. We don't just we do all of the activities. I learned how to wakeboard a couple of years ago. My friend Todd, he has a ski, because I have a pontoon. I don't have so it really is not that great for skiing. But he had a ski boat, and he let us use that one, and I think I did pretty well for my first time. So I'm hooked with that.
Yeah. I think that's the big draw for here is, you know, most people just getting close to the water. And we do have so many neighborhoods that are lake access, even if you can't be on the lake. And, you know, just go down to the docks, fishing, swimming.
Yeah, I got
a lot of opportunities.
It like you said, you know, you don't really have to have a waterfront property to enjoy the lake. You can actually rent boats if you even don't have a boat. But there's so many people that have boats in here that all you have to...
You know what the best kind of boat is?
Which one?
The one your friend owns.
Oh, Alison revealing her secrets. Yeah,
Yes.
now we know why you have so many friends.
That's why I have so many friends.
Hey, my name is Alison.
That's
What's your
right.
name? What kind of boat do you have?
I'll be over Saturday around noon.
I'll invite myself. Alison, with the interview and with your bucket list, and we still, actually, let me promise this, we need to talk a little bit more about our favorite spots in Chapin.
Absolutely.
Okay?
It's a lot.
We have a ton, and we kind of did prepare to talk a little bit more about our favorite places in Chapin.
But you talk too much, so we ran out of time.
But I talk too much. We got that problem. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to. You're gonna have to do like some signs so I can shut up. That's a sign?
Yeah.
Well, we got 30 minutes, so it works.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.